Hello everybody, welcome to another session of Funucation, a video series and learning tool to hopefully make learning fun, educational, and memorable for future tests, school, and life in general. This particular session will be on reading and comprehension, and this session will be a bit extensive and covering reading levels of various kinds for different age groups to hopefully benefit from this as well. We will first start off with the reading of first grade level reading material. Then we will go into the reading of fourth grade level material. Then it will get a bit more extensive as we go into high school and early college type of reading material. Hopefully this material will be beneficial to kids of all ages and also to young adults and adults too who may want to just brush up on some reading skills and refresh themselves. So this will all be a pretty easy and simple and old school learning process. The method we'll be using today will be the old school follow along method. I start off basically by reading the first grade material at a slow speed, and you can just read along as I go. Then I will begin reading the fourth grade material at a more moderate and faster speed, and you can follow along as I go as well. Then things will pick up and get a little bit more extensive and intensive as I read the high school and early college type material at a regular speed. I might speed it up every now and then, but I'll try to stay at a regular speed. So just take your time, listen to this as many times as you need, and be patient with yourself. Nobody is smarter than anybody here, and this is just all about going through the process and the learning process that every human being goes through who has learned to read, regardless of what age or stage in life we're in. And I'll call out each paragraph as I go along so that way we do not get lost. Alrighty, well, let's get started. So the first one will be the first grade material. We'll be going over a story, a very short story called A Wish for a Fish. And just read along as I go. Josh has a wish. He wants to swim with the fish. Let's shop, says Mom. She grabs a mask off the shelf. Mom and Josh rush to the ship. They hop on. The ship stops. Splash. Josh hops off. Josh sees a lot of fish. He pets the fins. Josh got his wish. He swam with the fish. So that was a quick story, and you have two questions here to test the comprehension of that story. Two quick questions would be Josh's wish is to, then you have three categories to choose from, and then the second question would be Mom and Josh hopped on a what? And you have three categories to go there. I'm not going to give you the answer. That's something you're going to have to ask your parents for. Alrighty, I'm going to go into the fourth grade reading material, and you can pause here if you like. Maybe review the first grade material if you're there and answer the questions, or you can move on. So here goes. This will be a story called Smile for the Camera. Morgan was helping out at her mother's photography studio. She had been working there and learning for a few weeks. Her mom said that Morgan did a great job. The other photographers agreed. One day, Morgan asked her mom if she could help take a picture. "I know I'm not ready to use the equipment by myself," she said, "but could I at least help?" "I suppose so," her mom said. "I have a family coming in at noon today. You can help with that photo session." Morgan was excited to meet the family and get started. When they got there, her mom introduced herself. She also introduced Morgan. Then they started to plan the pictures. The first thing to think about was how many people would be in the pictures. There were 5 people in the family. They also had to think about the ages of the children. There were 3 kids and 1 was a baby. So Morgan guessed they would use toys to make the baby smile. Last paragraph. Now it was time to choose the background. Morgan and her mom talked to the family about which color they wanted. The family wanted a light color. Her mom thought that was a good idea. So Morgan suggested pale blue. Everyone said that was the right choice. Next, her mom got the camera. When the camera was set up, her mom had the family sit in several different poses. She took pictures of each pose. While her mom took the pictures, Morgan used some toys to make the baby laugh and smile. When her mom was done, she asked the family to wait for a few minutes. Then she put the film disc in the computer and made a file with all of the poses. Morgan told the family when her mom was ready for them. Then the family chose the pictures they wanted. Morgan wrote down their order and on an order form. The family thanked Morgan and her mom and left. Her mom said, "You did a super job, Morgan. Maybe you'll be a photographer yourself when you're older." And that finishes the 4th grade reading level. It's a bit longer story. Pretty interesting story, but pretty inspiring story as well. Especially for anybody that might want to be a photographer when they grow up. But that's just a quick little read along. Hopefully that has helped out on the 4th grade level. Maybe even some of us to brushing up on some skills. I'm going to move on to a more intensive type of reading. Maybe not to everyone, of course, because many of us out here have read many pieces of material. And this may not be difficult, but for some, this could be somewhat challenging, but at the same time, it's a good challenge to learn how to look up things and, read the material that's out there nowadays, especially online, and trying to do research and for high schoolers and college, early college years and adult years too, where you're constantly looking up material and having to read and having to focus and having to comprehend the reading material and be able to apply that material to your life and yourself. So here goes. We're going to go into the high school and early college section. And this type of reading material is the basic type of reading material that's out there just in life in general. that you'll run across for the rest of your life, actually. So hopefully this can help prepare you. Here goes. This is going to be a particular business article about Donald Thompson, who is the McDonald's CEO at this time. And this is a research article off Wikipedia. Of course, Wikipedia can be somewhat changed sometimes over time because people can add to it. So. But I just thought this would demonstrate a type of reading material that will be out there that you will constantly run across every day. So here goes about Donald Thompson, McDonald's CEO. Starts off with his career, talking about his career. So we'll start with the first paragraph where it says Thompson is by profession an electrical engineer who joined McDonald's in 1990 after working for a fighter jet maker that is now part of Northrop Grumman. At McDonald's, Thompson designed robotic equipment for food transport and made control circuits for cooking. Thompson received a call from a McDonald's recruiter who was looking for an engineer to design robotics, control circuitry, and feedback loops. Though reluctant to take the job at first, he did accept an invitation to visit the McDonald's headquarters in suburban Chicago by an engineer working there. Soon after the visit, he was hired. Starting his career at McDonald's in 1990, Thompson quickly rose on the corporate ladder. By 1992, he was promoted to project manager and staff director for the quality development department. Oh, I'm sorry. This is paragraph 2. We'll be starting where it says he then switched over to be the second line in paragraph 2. He then switched over to operations in 1994, and while there, decided to spend his first 6 months learning the basics on how to manage a McDonald's restaurant. By working at a South Chicago restaurant, moving up from fry cook to shift manager, then assistant manager, and then co-manager. Now to the third paragraph. By 1998, Thompson was promoted to regional manager for the San Diego, California region and oversaw 350 restaurants. He then was promoted to senior vice president, VP, of the Midwest division, which he was responsible for overseeing of 2,200 restaurants. A subsequent promotion resulted in his becoming president of the West Division, where he oversaw operations for 4,000 restaurants. Now we'll be going to the fourth paragraph. By January 2005, Thompson, now an executive vice president, began to serve as both chief operations officer, COO, and head of national marketing of all U.S. restaurants of the McDonald's Corporation. On August 23, 2006, he became the president of McDonald's USA and McDonald's Restaurants of Canada. Finally, on July 1, 2012, he became the president and chief executive officer, CEO, of McDonald's Corp., succeeding the outgoing CEO, the retiring Jim Skinner. Okay, now we're going to go to this early childhood education section. First paragraph of it. Thompson, who was born in Chicago, grew up near the Cabrini Green housing project. A bright student who started the 6th grade at age of 10, Thompson, due to the gang violence and crime that began to spread throughout the area in the late 1960s and 1970s, was later moved by his grandmother to live with relatives in Indianapolis, where he attended North Central High School. Thompson is a graduate of Purdue University, where he earned a Bachelor of Science degree in 1983 in electrical engineering. He also holds an honorary doctorate from Excelsior College. Thompson is a brother of the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity. have to forgive me for mispronouncing that college. Excelsior. I'm just butchering that thing up, I know. On to the last sentence about his family and personal life. Thompson and his family live in suburban Oak Brook, Illinois, only a few miles from the near South Side Chicago neighborhood where he was born. That's a pretty interesting story, I must say. I think that story can pretty much, although it's a business story, I think it can connect with many individuals coming up in life and many individuals that are already adults. But inspiring story that can touch someone and wherever you're at in life, and show that things can get better, and work hard and come out of his current situation. Okay, another particular article, another Wikipedia article. This one is about William Wilberforce, and this is a good reading, and it's kind of like a high school, college material type as well. Matter of fact, you might be using some of this material for a college or high school project. William Wilberforce, first paragraph. William Wilberforce, 24 August 1759 to 29 July 1833. That's basically when he was born, when it's showing that type of demonstration in a reading. That's normally to show when the person's born and the person's time of death. Okay. He was an English politician, philanthropist, and a leader of the movement to abolish the slave trade. A native of Kingston, Upenhole. Interesting. I might need to visit that place. Yorkshire. He began his political career in 1780, eventually becoming the independent member of Parliament for Yorkshire, 1784 to 1812. In 1785, he underwent a conversion experience and became an evangelical Christian, which resulted in major changes to his lifestyle and a lifelong concern for reform. In 1787, he came in contact with Thomas Clarkson and a group of anti-slave trade activists, including Grenville Sharp, Hannah More, and Charles Middleton. They persuaded Wilberforce to take on the cause of abolition, and he soon became one of the leading English abolitionists. He headed the parliamentary campaign against the British slave trade for 26 years until the passage of the Slave Trade Act of 1807. Wilberforce was convinced of the importance of the religion, morality, and education. He championed causes and campaigns such as the Society for the Suppression of Vice, British missionary work in India, the creation of a free colony in Sierra Leone, the foundation of the Church Mission Society, and the Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. His underlying conservatism led him to support politically and socially repressive legislation, and resulted in criticism that he was ignoring injustices at home while campaigning for the enslaved abroad. In later years, Wilberforce supported the campaign for the complete abolition of slavery and continued his involvement after 1826, when he resigned from Parliament because of his failing health. That campaign led to the Slavery Abolition Act of 1833, which abolished slavery in most of the British Empire. Wilberforce died just 3 days after hearing that the passage of the act through Parliament was assured. He was buried in Westminster Abbey, close to his friend William Pitt. Well, we'll kind of tailor this thing on off now. I have much more reading material to share, but we'll save that for a later session. And I hope this has been pretty enjoyable and educational and easy to remember, and hopefully this helps brush up on some reading skills for adults. Hopefully this will benefit high schoolers and early college students, and hopefully the early material will benefit first graders and fourth graders as well, and hopefully all of this can hit all of the grades. Just kind of use this material for all of the age groups. So just play it over again, take as much time as you need, and one thing to just remember: to keep growing, keep learning. God bless, and go have an awesome life. Take care.